So my parents knew that I was going to have sickle cell disease before I was born. I would say one of my first memories, I think, was when I woke up and I just had severe pain in my legs. I just started noticing that I got different privileges in school, and going to the hospital as frequently as I was not normal. My life was just every day, maybe having a pain crisis, and then monthly going for blood transfusions. I ended up having multiple mini strokes of the brain with no physical effect, thankfully. And that was where transplant options became imminent for a solution. On October 31st, 2012, I received a double NiCord cord blood transplant. I became the first pediatric patient in the world to do that procedure for sickle cell disease, and it worked. I think that if my younger self would take a look at me today, that she would be in awe. I don't think that she ever anticipated that I would look the way that I look, that I act the way that I act, and that I'm doing things where I get to speak about such a story. I can't tell you how privileged I find myself going through an experimental procedure that works so well. At the same time, every single day I refer back or think back to transplant. It never left me. When I immediately came out of transplant, I was a lot more quiet and a lot more in shock of what I had just been through. It was a long journey getting to this extroverted person that you have sitting in front of you, but I think that I'll always remember the fight that I had to becoming Sosa after transplant. Anything else that I do in life doesn't really compare to that personal journey that I had to take.
The changes that people experience post-transplant exist on a pretty wide spectrum. No two people have the same experience of transplant. While there are those great things, there can also be some challenge that comes with change. It can be a lot to adjust to how things are different, whether that's occupational or social or identity shifts. At Be The Match, we are really committed to working with sickle cell warriors and helping them navigate through the process of transplant. We have a lot of options to support folks pre and post-transplant.
Be The Match, having a space specifically for us, is something that I really appreciate. It demonstrates that they take our grievances seriously. And it's really nice to have the backing of a large organization for something like that, because for a while people didn't understand the gravity of sickle cell disease. And then slowly, as they started learning more, not just about the disease, but now potential cures, we have this community now of people that you can kind of go to for support.
The program that I work within is called PACES, which stands for Patient and Caregiver Emotional Support. Our social workers in the Patient Support Center can provide one-on-one support to patients and caregivers who are navigating treatment and transplant. We take a very specific approach regarding transplant and the unique needs that someone going through transplant or their caregiver might have related to this experience. Another one of our programs here at Be The Match is our Peer Connect program. In this program, patients who are pre or post-transplant can be connected to one of our volunteers for a one-on-one connection. Through these conversations, patients can talk with someone who's been through the experience about the highs and lows, the challenges, the successes, words of wisdom. Patients tend to really find value in this program.
You're not going to get a better perspective than somebody who has been through it. Most people can't tell you how to live after you've almost died. Be The Match has helped empower me to speak to other individuals, other families, and other networks of people to encourage them to donate their stem cells or cord blood to help make an impact in somebody else's life. Because I've had the honor of being the first for my procedure, I'm able to talk to people who are going through what I went through, so that my own story may encourage somebody else who is about to embark on their own transplant journey.
We are really taking an approach that focuses on what are the impacts of transplant, those unique experiences, those challenges that might come up that maybe wouldn't be present if you were going a different treatment route. What do patients need to navigate through this and live well after transplant?
You have organizations like Be The Match's Sickle Cell Warrior Community, where you can get connected with advocates like me and others to be able to advocate for you, motivate you, and get you to the destination that you desire to be at.